morning, everybody. I am Basavaraj Koduche. I would be dealing with business law. For fifth semester, we have one subject by name business law. Now here, the intention of adding this subject to your syllabus is to make you all well versed with the various rules and regulations, various aspects, various terminologies, which are very much essential to deal in any business activity. During this business process or during the functioning of this business, we need to have all touch of these terminologies, which are very much essential, especially to deal or to survive in the market. Now here in this subject we have 5 modules. The name of this subject or the title of this subject is business law. Here the subject code is 501 and the allocation of marks is same as last year, that is 20 and 80. 20 marks would be your internal and 80 marks would be your external, that is of your university examination. Now here in this subject, the first module is known as the general principles. The general principles in the sense, the basic terminologies or the basic principles which are essential to understand business law. Now in this chapter we would be dealing with the basic things such as the meaning of business, meaning of law, and put together meaning and definition of business law. Now here in this business law, further we would be discussing the scope, the sources of business law. Then the most important thing is the law of contract. Now in business, many times we do enter into contract, we deal with various contracts, and in this contracts, what is the definition of contract, what are the valid contracts, then essentials of a contract, all these things we would be dealing. Now many a times we end up or we start doing these contracts in many business activities. So we as a businessman or we as an entrepreneur, we need to understand or we need to know what are the essentials of the contract, what are the rules governing this contract. For this we need to understand the Indian Contract Act. These things we will be dealing in part A of your first module. Now here in law of contract we will be dealing with the various definitions of contract, then valid contract, definitions, then essentials, then kinds of contracts. Now here a 5 marks question may be there for explain the various types of contracts or what are the essentials of contracts. Also 2 marks questions such as define business law, what do you mean by contract, or some definition of contracts will be asked for 2 marks. Now one more thing we need to understand is this chapter is the most basic and important chapter in your syllabus. Now in this chapter we will be having case study from this chapter itself. Now here in case study some situation would be given wherein some example, live example it may be that A is offering B a mobile which A want to sell mobile under some X price, but B accepts for lesser prices. Whether this contract is valid or no, these kind of some situations would be given. So at that point of time we need to understand that situation, explain that situation and give various essentials or various requirements of a contract. So we need to understand this contract law very much, we need to understand this contract law in a proper way so that we can solve these case studies. Now after this contract we have in contract offer, acceptance. In offer acceptance we would be again further studying the essentials of offer and acceptance. Now here in offer and acceptance a 2 marks question may be there, what do you mean by offer or what do you mean by acceptance. Also a 5 marks question may be there, what are the essentials of valid offer or valid acceptance. Now here we would be understanding what does offer means, what does acceptance means, and what are the essential things or what are the essential points to call a contract as a valid contract or valid offer. Along with that, the points which make a acceptance as a valid acceptance. For that also the points we need to study under the part B of your general principles chapter. After that we have Part C in your first chapter, that is capacity and contract. Capacity means with whom we can enter into contract. All those things we need to study. Rules related to minors agreement. Now many a times minor is brought into a contract wherein whether we can sign contract with a minor or no. What are the rules and regulations for minors agreement? Who are the person who are disqualified from contracting? Disqualified in the sense with whom we cannot enter into a contract. It may be an alien, an idiot. All these things we need to understand. For that also there are definitions, whom we call it as alien, who is who, and all those things we need to understand and then get the definitions for each of these. So these things we will be dealing in part C of your first module. After that we have part D called as consideration in your first module. Now any contract, in that contract there will be some consideration given. So that what does that consideration means, what are the rules related to consideration, all these things we will be dealing in this part. Now here a 2 marks question may be asked saying what do you mean by consideration, or a 5 marks question may be there, explain the rules related to consideration. At that point of time, in depth, the rules which govern the consideration need to be explained in a point and its explanation. After that, the last part in your first module is free consent. Now here the consent, all the whether the consent is influenced, whether the consent is fraud or it is misrepresented or it is a mistake, all these things we need to understand here. Many times in some contract or some agreement we may say that it has happened by mistake and all blah blah things, but for that also there are certain set of rules and regulations under the Indian Contract Act which govern all these kind of frauds, misrepresentations and mistakes. Okay, so for that we need to understand the free consent part in your general principles. After that, second model we have legality and discharge of contract. Now many times it happens that there are certain contracts which we want to end up or which we want to stop. At that point of time, how to stop this contract or how to end this contract? What are the legal obligations to stop any contract or end up with the contract? So for that purpose we have second module. In second module, part A, we will be dealing with legality of object agreements opposed to public policy or void agreement. Which agreements are called as void agreements? Which are opposed by public policy. For example, if I enter into a contract with some person, suppose I am entering with a contract with say Vinayak Patil, and he is giving me some X amount to kill some X person. Whether this is a valid or whether this agreement will be supported by public? No. It will be against the public, or it is a void agreement because it is having an unlawful intention of this agreement or this contract. So therefore these kind of things we will be discussing. The legality of object, what objective we have under this contract, that we will be studying. Then after that we would be studying the various void agreements, contingent contracts, wager, etc. in this part A of your second module. Part B of your second module deals with discharge of contract, modes of discharge of contract. Now discharge of contract means, suppose if I am planning to stop or end some contract, at that point of time how to end, what are the modes of discharge of contract, how this discharge of contract is performed. So all these things, all these aspects we will be dealing with your part B of your second module. Now sometimes we see that some or the other party which breaks or which breaches the contract. So for that we have the part C of your second module, that is breach of contract, remedies for breach of contract and quasi-contract. Now what do you mean by breach of contract? Such kind of questions will be there for 2 marks. Some questions would be there for 5 marks saying explain the remedies of breach of contract or for breach of contract. All these things we will need to understand. A 2 marks question may be there by saying explain or what do you mean by quasi contract. So all these things we will be dealing in your second chapter or second module. Third module we have special contracts. In special contracts we will be dealing with special contracts, then contract of indemnity, contract of guarantee, kinds of guarantee, mode of discharge of surety. All these things we need to understand. Now here 2 marks question may be there. What do you mean by contract of indemnity, contract of guarantee, or what are the modes of discharge of surety? This question may be there for 5 marks as such. These things we will be dealing in your part A of your third module. In third module, part B, we have contract of bailment, contract of pledge, rights and duties of bailer and bailee, finder of lost goods, etc. These things we will be dealing with your part B of your special contracts. Then part C of your third module, that is special contracts, we will be dealing with contract of agency, definition, agent, principal, creation of agency, rights and duties of parties. Now here some 2 marks questions may be asked. What do you mean by contract of agency or definition of agency? What do you mean by agent, principal, then creation of agency? What are the rights and duties of parties under this? These kind of questions will be there for 5 marks as such. Now we need to answer it in a proper way. All these things we will be discussing in third module, that is special contracts. Now fourth chapter we have is Consumer Protection Act of 1986. Many times we buy something and after some period we feel, after buying, when the delivery happens, we feel that product is not of good quality, not of worth, and that time we have some complaints, and if the complaints are not redressed, or if the complaints are not addressed by the product producer or the person who is serving for this product, then we go ahead with complaints. Then where to complain? Where I as a consumer can go for action against the producer or the person who is providing this service. For that purpose, the whole thing is understood in this fourth module by name Consumer Protection Act. The name itself states that consumer protection. Now many times the consumers may be say frauded, or they are ended up with losses by buying some wrong product or by frauds, etc., etc. So at that point of time, to protect such consumers, because consumer is the king of market. If any business need to survive, it need to manage its consumer, its customers. So here this Consumer Protection Act of 1986 was brought in force to protect the consumers. Now many times the weight as per mentioned will not be there, the product quality will not be there. Some people may be say doing some unlawful activities in that. So all these things will be addressed under Consumer Protection Act 1986. Now here in this chapter we will be dealing with objectives of the act. A 5 marks question may be there, explain the objectives of Consumer Protection Act, or definition for 2 marks. Then Consumer Council, Consumers Dispute and Redressal Agencies. There are various agencies who redress this kind of disputes in between consumer and producer. After that we have rights related to packaged commodities. There are various rights related to packaged commodities. The packaged commodities wherein the expiry date need to be mentioned, the net weight need to be mentioned, what are the contents of that packaged product need to be mentioned. All these things related to rights related to packaged commodities would be discussed here. 5 marks question would be asked on this as well. Then the recent judgments. Judgments means what? Sometimes if a consumer goes to a consumer court with a case on some producer or some service provider, at that point of time, what judgment the judge has given or the court has given in that case, some important judgments we will be studying here, so that it becomes easy to understand what are the basic things we need to know as a consumer, or what are the aspects or what are the rules framed by the Consumer Protection Act 1986. All these things we will be dealing in our fourth chapter. Then most important thing is the Right to Information Act 2005. Right to information means we need to know some things. It is a basic right of a citizen. So what are those rights? Which all informations we can take or we can get? All these things we can study in module 5, wherein Right to Information Act is an act, and along with that Information Technology Act 2000. Both these acts simultaneously we need to study. Now here, what are the objectives of these two acts that we need to study? What are the general features, powers, functions of both the acts? Why this act was brought? What are the objectives of this act? How it will benefit the general public, or we as a general public when we want to find out some information, whether it is my right to find out such information or no, blah blah, all these things we will be dealing with our fifth module. Now as far as the questions is concerned, on fourth and fifth module we can see that very minimal questions have been asked, but the more so concentration is given on first three chapters, wherein the Contract Act plays a vital role, because in any business activity, we as a businessman or an entrepreneur or a business student, BBA student, we need to know the various contracts, what are its effects, various types of contracts, how to enter into contract, with whom we can enter into contract, how to end up a contract, and the considerations, etc., etc. All these things we need to understand under this subject, that is business law. Now here, this class, it is just an introductory class, an overview what all things we will be studying in this semester under the heading business law. I have tried to give a brief idea about what all things we will be studying in upcoming days. Now for our reference, we have few books which we can refer, that is MC Kuchal, Business Law, published by Vikas Publishing House. Then one more we have N.D. Kapoor, Business Law, published by Sultan Chand and Sons, New Delhi, and Avtar Singh, Mercantile Law. So these things we need to, these books we can refer for our reference. Now here, we as a students, sometime we can visit some court, or we can see some advocate dealing in this kind of contracts or acts, or we can have a special interaction with some practicing, or the person who is practicing under contract laws. And so in this introductory class, we will stop here, and upcoming classes we will be dealing with the first chapter, that is general principles. In that, in tomorrow's class, we will be studying the definition of business as well as the definition of law, and put together what do we mean by business law. Okay, so we will stop here, and hope if you have any doubts, any queries, you can feel free to contact me at any point of time. And for your attendance, I would like to ask you all to comment your name and registration number under this video, so that the attendance can be maintained. Okay, thank you very much.